Hello boys and girls, welcome to a Star Citizen session. A Star Citizen session in a way, in an unusual way. I will be doing stuff for Star Citizen, which is some lore. No, that's not Robert Space Industries. Some comlink. Find all. Ferko is here. Hello, Ferko. I'm glad to see you here. Finally, nice evening where I can sip a little bit of alcoholic beverage. Because when I'm racing, alcohol is making you so slow. It is unbelievable how horrible it is. How horrible alcohol's influence on racing is. Even a little amount. But I want to have a pleasant evening and just review what I did a long time ago. I think I started wikifying all of these old articles. It's like if Robert Space Industry is guiding you or leading you into the point in the game where you drop in with your character and start your Squadron 42 campaign or enter the persistent universe. But it's like an introduction. What they suggest that Star Citizen is actually happening in our world some 900 years in the future, and the way those 900 years from now, from today's time to 900 years ahead, they give you some sort of a spectrum dispatch, like snippets of TV news, or a series called Time Capsule, which gives you like insights in particular time periods in the upcoming future until the game really starts. So I think I've done everything I could with this article, but what I haven't done yet is a page comprising all the Spectrum Dispatch articles. There might already be one if you search for Spectrum Dispatch. It's already there. Spectrum Dispatch is a section of the Robert Space Industries website containing lore updates, stories, and other in-universe articles. All right. Yeah, so there is people caring about this, but only until October 2012. So it's been 3 years since anybody really updated this website. But every Spectrum Dispatch article has a wiki article, which is exactly how I would like it. That's not how I did it, but I was thinking about it yesterday evening, and thought exactly this. This is how it's supposed to be. You get so it's actually, wait a moment, this is not right. Oh, it's from 2012. Oh, it's chronologically from. Why is it ordered like this? Why is it ordered with the newest on top and the oldest on the bottom? And it's not even complete. And I think we are mixing here different series. I think one sort of thing is real Spectrum Dispatch, and another thing is what they call the time capsule or clean shot. Clean shot is another thing. And Tales of Kid Crimson and Cassandra's Tears are completely unrelated, I think, lore, like fiction stories. They are very much in Star Citizen universe, but they they write history. Also, all what you read in the stories actually happens in Star Citizen universe. It's not like just a fiction story in the world of Star Citizen, but it's actually happening. But due to their character of novels or short stories, I think they belong to a complete different series rather than this Spectrum Dispatch and stuff. So as we will be going through this, we will clean this up and differentiate properly. So there is something like Spectrum Dispatch. This is another Spectrum Dispatch article. Another Spectrum Dispatch. Another Spectrum Dispatch. Spectrum Dispatch, actually Spectrum Dispatch, Spectrum Dispatch. Spectrum Dispatch. First push is Spectrum Dispatch, Spectrum Dispatch. Spectrum Dispatch. Together we rise. Hello. Breathe free. A better earth. Galaxy gets bigger, awfully crowded. A leader rises. Tears of fire. Call of sovereignty, scorched earth. Not in Nottingham. Actually, before that it comes... No, not in Nottingham. First footage, Cold War thaws. The tide rises. Gentler human. Neutral zone. And this... Dreamer dreams. And this clean shot thing, oh, it's also a part of Spectrum Dispatch, I can see. But there is lots of clean shot releases. So I don't really know. Stars get a little closer. Star Citizen. I was motivated to do this, Ferko, by your notice in our chat that that you have read so many lore articles, and it got me into it again. Thank you. I enjoyed it. I mean, I've been reading these for about 3 hours yesterday, and decided, well, if I want really to learn something from it, I have to wikify it, because otherwise I just read it, and in 3 weeks I'll forget what I have read. And if I, with a little more effort, wikifying it, I could remember it. If I forget it, I can quickly look anything up in the wiki. So we were talking about Spectrum Dispatch. First of all, I would prefer to have them sorted otherwise. Ferko says, oh yes, the Vandal attack on Vega made me want to refresh my memory again. Yeah. I guess there is much faster way how to reverse the sorting order of these. Oh God, I've been doing something wrong, right? So let's first reverse sorting order of inside these months, and then try to reverse the months. I guess I won't really get to do any proper work. It's probably will have a little administrative things here. But I have read the first articles. Well, pretty much all of those I have opened a couple of minutes ago and then closed again. And I was liking it. It's great stories. I mean, there I finally understood what this Emperor Messer did. What he did good, what he did wrong. And why is the UEE not just? You can't really tell the UEE is the good guys. I mean, there are lots of bad things happening inside the UEE, and that's what I like. That's the kind of depth in the law that you just can't say these are the good guys, these are the bad guys, and everything's black or white. It's a lot of shades of grey everywhere. And I saw a YouTube video yesterday when I was reading about, I don't know, some stuff in the lore that I forgot the actor's name, but yeah, I looked up the article about Carl Mason, the main protagonist from the Cassandra's Tears story. And here they say he's played by the actor Jack Huston in Squadron 42. So that's where I realized that all these fiction stories and short stories and novels they are presenting us, they are actually part of history of Star Citizen, part of the universe, part of the persistent history. And there is an interview with the actor Jack Huston. Like he talks about lots of stuff, but then
simple as that, like trying to blow off the heads, because that's how you kill one, is like, you know, the head.
he's talking about his other movies here.
Scores if you go straight for the head, but there's a decapitation score.
And now comes some computer game idea in his mind, and
it's just killing zombies. I like it.
Do you have a favorite memory from playing games back in the day?
Yeah, I used to play FIFA soccer with my buddies, and the tournaments that were going.
And then he remembers that he actually was filming the motion capture for.
I haven't played for a while, but next time I'm in London, I'll probably get the guys together and we'll have another round.
These days, it looks like the real game, the real sport.
It's insane what they do. That's my thing. I was just working on my friend Chris Roberts' game, Star Citizen, which he's about to bring out, I think, next year. Because he was behind Wing Commander all those years ago. So I was just working on the game, doing the film part of that, which is amazing, like doing all the motion capture. So that was pretty cool.
What role do you play in that?
I play a guy called Cal Mason, who's sort of just like a sort of frivolous.
So I was really excited to see. I mean, I don't know this actor. I don't remember seeing any movies with him, but I'm excited that these stories we read about in Cassandra's Tears and stuff will be integrated into the Squadron 42. It probably won't be anything where you will take part in, but maybe it will be stories. Maybe somebody will talk you, or somebody will tell you, or might be some historical retrospective cutscenes where you will see the story of Cassandra's Tears played by people. So that's pretty nice. And what Ferko says here, the history lessons or the lore, reading through the lore, now that we finally have a map, finally have a working map on the site, is much more like it helps to remember things and helps to imagine things. It's not just words. If you hear that something happens on Garan 2, okay, for you it's a fancy sounding science fiction name of a star system or a planet, but you can't imagine anything. You can't imagine how far is it, in what sort of area is it? Is it in the Vandul half of the universe? Is it in the Banu half? I mean, you don't know what are its neighbors. What sort of stuff is there? What sort of industry or trade is going on Garan? You can hopefully look it up all on in the map. I haven't actually looked thoroughly at the map, Ferko. Do they have the lore information inside the map, like the import export kind of goods, the whatever we have read, and whatever has Zur integrated in his interactive map? it would be nice if you could instantly see or instantly access all the relevant lore information about a star system. I guess it's not implemented like that. I would love to listen to some music in the background, but YouTube is so awful, especially in Germany. And then not only can't the German people watch live streams on YouTube, but if I had any sort of music, I guess YouTube would mute it or just prohibit viewing in Germany at all. I mean, I don't know why the Germans do it. I mean, it must actually harm the music industry in Germany that they are not allowing YouTube to play back songs. That's what YouTube is here for. And I see Germans migrating to the competition like Vimeo and other servers who somehow can break the German music industry laws and have music pieces there for you to listen to and watch music clips. And nobody complains about them because their user base is still too small to care about. But YouTube, no, just can't do that. It's like this Gangnam Style piece, the song Gangnam Style. It was a #1 hit all over the world, pretty much every nation, every continent. It was millions of views. But in Germany, it was, I don't know, I guess it was in the top 10, but it was not as popular as everywhere else, just because it was not accessible on YouTube. People could not listen to the song on YouTube. And radios couldn't play it 24/7, they could play it once or twice a day at most. So it didn't get that much popularity, but shame. April, May, June, July. These come on top. Oh. January. And this is 20. Still 2013. And this November. And October. and 2012 goes above 2013. All right, so how is it called? Ascending chronology. And it's just a minor edit, actually. Left a message on my wall. I don't see why the Javelin class destroyer shouldn't be named as such, considering it's specifically called as such. Well, we have the Idris class frigate, and we call it the Idris. So I don't really know what do they mean by class. It's not like Idris is a class of ships. Why do they have this class suffix? What does it mean? I think it's pretty empty in meaning. That's why I tend to ignore it. I mean, Javelin class. That's not like in class, ship class. For me, a ship class I could imagine is something like a frigate, whatever, transport vessel, maybe a racer, a fighter, a explorer, interceptor, corvette, or cruiser, or whatever. I mean, there is lots of terms in the ship terminology, and there is a destroyer, whatever. There is a capital ship, and so on. So those are ship classes, but Idris and Javelin are not ship classes. I mean, this is a destroyer class ship, and Idris is a frigate. So why don't they say Idris frigate, Idris class frigate? I don't know really what they mean by it, but I don't think that this is the that's the Javelin. I mean, Javelin destroyer. I don't know. I mean, this guy's probably posted it years ago, September 15th. Oh, it's not that long ago. Okay, so let's take a reply. I'm not quite sure, but I feel like in the last stream, in the last CIG Manchester CitizenCon, and in Cologne at the Gamescom, they were talking about Idris and not about Idris class frigate. Where, however, when it was new, when it was introduced as the biggest ship, it was all about Idris class frigate, Idris class frigate, Idris class frigate. But once it becomes more common, it's just the Idris, because that's enough. It's like saying M50 class racer or something, or Hornet class interceptor. That doesn't make sense. And what was it before the frigate, Idris class frigate? There was Idris class cruiser? No, what was the other name of the Idris? Idris class. I forgot. Do you remember, Falco? What was Idris before it became frigate? Cruiser? Don't remember. Cruiser. Corvette, you say? No, cruiser. They said cruiser. Small. Oh no, smaller than cruiser. Corvette. It was really Corvette. Corvette. You're right, Falco. Thank you. and tactically. Do we have any other frigates, Ferko? Is the 890 jump frigate, or maybe is the what else could be the frigate? Don't know. But do we have any other frigates or any other destroyers? Maybe from the Vandul world, the Vandul ships. Is any of those big Vandul ships also a destroyer class? So I can write it as an example here. Can you check? Will be kind. Also, the Citizen-Con video Stanton is referred an Aegis Idris class. Oh, really? Wow. Idris class. I can't imagine that it is the part of the name. Can you, Ferko? I mean, if you can feel free to oppose me, but I don't buy it. Frigate ships. Look at frigate ships. Okay, we have destroyer ships. Vandul ships. Hunter destroyer. Yeah, hunter destroyer. It's just a hunter. The destroyer is not the part of the that's a destroyer class. That's a ship class. I never know whether opinion is written with the double P or not. Why is it not? The P is so stressed and so geminated that look. Ferko says it seems large military and cruise ships follow that as well. Oasis of the Seas was the first of the large cruise ships. And now the name setter of Oasis class. If the military come out with a brand new destroyer, for example, it will be the new name. There might be something about what you say, something true about it, because last time I rent a car, and I just wanted a cheap small car. I didn't have no big demands, and they say, okay, a car, a Polo class car will be ready for you there and there. And what she meant, like a car like the Volkswagen Polo, the small Volkswagen car, like not the super small, but the generic small one. Not the Golf. Golf would be bigger, like Golf class, the Polo class, like a car on par with the Volkswagen Polo, and it wasn't in fact any Volkswagen Polo. It was a Seat, whatever, I forgot the name. Some sort of Seat, which drove equally bad as the Polo. But yeah, there was the Polo class. So Idris or Javelin as representative of a whole class. Like there may be, which opens the way then for more ships being destroyers. We can have smaller destroyer ships. I mean, there can be the Idris class. or no, the Javelin class destroyer, or maybe a smaller destroyer class, maybe something as small as the Retaliator could also be called a destroyer, and then it would be called a Retaliator class destroyer. Well, who knows? I mean, that's it's open debate. What's the bomber thing? It's not the Guardian, the Gladiator, right? Gladiator is the bomber. Gladiator class bomber as opposed to class in this case seems to be like a model, like a prototype. Yeah, I get your idea, Ferko. I know what you want to say. Like human is the prototype of all humanoid creatures, right? So instead of humanoid, we would say a human class creature, like a Banu and Vandul are human class creatures. Yeah, I see the system behind it, but as far as the ship portfolio goes, I don't see any other class destroyer or any other class frigate. If you would say me, okay, we've got multiple sizes of destroyers, and then there is the Retaliator class destroyer. There is something smaller destroyer. Maybe the F7A can be called a destroyer. It's just the F7A, or the Hornet class destroyer, and the Retaliator class destroyer, and then we have the Idris class destroyer or Javelin class destroyer. Then I can say, okay, well, there's a family of big destroyers, small destroyers, mid-sized destroyers, and all these destroyer classes are called by their most known representatives, which is whatever, Hornet, Idris, or Javelin. Then I will see a system behind this nomenclature, and I'll be happy to change it. All right. Well, that was an X course into ship names. Which I didn't want to go into that much. I actually wanted to do some actual lore. Idris Hunter Destroyer. So we should have the Spectrum Dispatch. I'm just thinking, John, whether I should block you or not. I don't like your intrusive comments here. I guess I won't report you, I'll just block you. All right. He's not listening anymore anyway. I mean, he just surfs the live streams, and every time he pastes this offensive message inviting people to join his channel. So maybe that's report worthy. Okay. Spectrum Dispatch. So this post is actually not yet a member of this list, is it? September 9th, 2012. Yeah, we need to edit this. September. Hello, Starky Pancakes. Yes, I'm fine. I had a wonderful race earlier today. It could be online by now. I really enjoyed it. And I'm missing Star Citizen. I need to get in touch with the knowledge material in Star Citizen, which makes me want to dive deep into this again. It's almost as fun as playing the game. It's at least for me it is. There is not much of a game to play yet, but we can lavish in. How do you say? We can. What's the word? We can enjoy the lore so far. I'm missing the word. It was published September 9th, 2012, okay? So Revel. Yes, Revel, or there's another word that was more in my active vocabulary. Like something with S. I just don't know. Savor, right? Savor, is it like savor the moment, like enjoy it as much as you can while it lasts, right? Because maybe it's not quite, it doesn't quite hit the spot, savoring, but savoring something which will pass. Maybe when the game is out, we won't have that much time to well, I guess revel is best. Revel in the lore, because we'll be busy playing the game. But as long as there is no game to be played, we can do that. What is this int? I have no idea what this int is. Besides, Babarix had a nice nice template for linking these. Text should be this, right? So when do we go too far? September 11th. I think Savor comes across as being a more controlled enjoyment, and Revel is more wild enjoyment, really. Okay. I mean, my connotation of savoring is this save, like save the, like enjoy it while it lasts. But maybe I'm completely off. I should look up the etymology of those and the actual meaning in some proper dictionary. I'm just guessing here, but that's how I feel about these words. It's like when you acquire a language and you have a guess what these words could mean, but you don't know quite when to use them. Yeah, we need this. And we need this. And there is another. Give these people air. September 12th. And I think we have a dark day. I think we went through in our previous Star Citizen lore streams. We went through this dark day. I think I did quite a lot of work on this dark day tragedy. There should be a solid article about it. and it's September 13th. You know, like you'd revel in bacchanalian delights and savor the sweet kiss of sunrise on an autumn morning. What are bacchanalian delights? Bacchanalian, what is that? Bacchus, yes, Bacchus, the god of wine. I thought so, but wasn't quite sure. First, it sounded like something of the Indian, seeing the CCH. you get that in some Hindi transcriptions or Sanskrit transcriptions or whatever. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure if it's about Bacchus. Why is it not Bacchian, like Bacchanalian? That's a strange suffix, you know. Obviously, the word stem, the name stem is Bacchus, or this Bach, and analian. I haven't had a name which adjectivizes by suffixing analian. I can live with Jupiter and Jovian, but no other names come into my mind which take this analian suffix. Bacchanalian. First one, I've learned something. It's a bacchanalian delight drinking this. Dark day. And then we have a ship in every garage. Do you say a ship in every garage or every garage? Garage. Oh. Canada? Garage, but United Kingdom?
Garage.
Ship in every garage. Okay.
Garage.
Garage. He says garage. Where's he from? United Kingdom. Garage and garage are probably both okay pronunciation.
Garage.
Okay.
Garage.
Okay. Whatever you like. I prefer garage. Garage sounds too French. It's like either or either. Both are okay. What did I want to do? Do we have this? No, we don't. It's September, how much? September 14th. Can you ask? If you ask for an ordinary number, if you ask for an amount, you say how much. And if you want to ask for the order, can you ask how much did you finish? Because all these ordinal numbers, like first, second, okay, up from fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, they all end in this th suffix. So why not ask how much if you want to know the ordinal number? But you don't do that in English, do you? Like in German or in Czech language, you can ask specifically for an ordinal number as opposed to a cardinal number or an amount. But in English, is there such a question word to elicit ordinal numbers? Strange how the language doesn't do it. As if the language wouldn't need it. September 14th. And I messed it up here a little bit. Okay. September 14th. Ship in every garage or garage. Blue skies on Mars. Starkey says, not that I know of, maybe Old Middle English, something like that, I guess. You could say, by how many? By how many place you finished? By how many place you finished the race? You can say, in what place did you finish the race? And he said, oh, I finished in 4th place. But you can't say how much you finished. I finished 4th. Strange. The language doesn't need it. I mean, there's a nice saying our professor of linguistics was teaching us. He says, languages do best what speakers do most, or like speakers ask or talk about most. And this question is just not frequent enough or not important enough for the English speakers, so they don't have a mechanism in their language to do this in a shorthand way. They have to paraphrase that in a different manner, like you say, yeah. With more words. I see. Where did you finish? Okay, where did you finish? All right, but you can't say on where of October is your birthday. Like, I know your birthday is in October, and you can't say, okay, you have to paraphrase it, like, what day in October is your birthday, and say, okay, my birthday is 23rd of October or whatever. But yeah, it's just paraphrases. Then in English there is no direct way, direct asking pronoun, question pronoun for that. Ship in every garage. Blue Sky Mars, September 15th. The March of Progress. September 16th. I think the problem is that most of these things are highly contextual. Well, Stucky, well, that's not at all the problems. Many specialized things are highly contextual, and many things a language has vehicles or grammatical constructions for are highly specific in their context of use. But still, some languages use it. And certainly, we could find examples of English in English language, which is quite specific to the English language and English culture, where other languages just don't have that kind of specific constructions to express things like whatever. I think the way in English you can form relative clauses by making gaps, like what did you come by, or where do you come from. That's like where do you come from? Like you come from where, and you move it out and you leave the gap in the relative clause. That's something common in other languages, but uncommon in German does it in a way, but quite impossible in Czech or in other languages. And it's an easy and a short way to like the man I saw, like I saw the man, and you move it out of the I saw the man, you relativize it by moving it away out of the relative clause, and there is a gap. It's not possible. The man I saw. Other languages have to have something like a relative pronoun in German, like der Mann, den ich sah. That is not possible without this den, or in Czech there must be a relative pronoun or some sort of word material taking the original place of the thing you are asking about or you're relativizing about. And in English it's just a gap, and it's a very like an efficient method of forming relative clauses. Just move it out of the clause and leave a gap there. You don't have to pronounce any more material, any more words in order to make a relative clause. So that's where you can tell English relative clauses are more efficient, and it's amazing how easy you can have them and build them and cascade them even, and where in other languages you have to have some word material there. It's like as an example, that's what English does quite easily, where other languages need more effort. Okay, March of Progress, September 16th, isn't it? 16th, isn't it? March of Progress. March of Progress. Is there anything in linguistic categorizing where exactly the language gets specific as a function of what society is like? Like, for instance, Eskimos having some 50 words for color of white. Yes, it's all over the place. It's in every language. Every language is something very culture specific. I mean, you can't quite separate language from culture. It's language is very much influenced by culture, and the language influences culture as well. Almost every language. I remember when I took a class of it was called the British Cultural Studies. I hated the class, but one lesson I remember very well, and I liked very much. It was one of the introductory lessons to the whole seminar, and the professor told us. It was just some sort of a brainstorming thing. We said, okay, we are going to learn about British culture and the British English language. And just imagine these people living there. What do you associate? How is the Great Britain or the British Isles different from our European continent? And of course, one of the differences was weather. I mean, there is often rain and rainy days in England, and they say yes, that's something we can pick up on and brainstorm about. So just imagine how many different words you know of for water in its various forms in Britain, and whereas in German we had, like, I don't know, we have water, we have ice, we have snow, we have dew, and some other. But in British we found many more words, like besides of ice, snow, dew, mist, haze, whatever was there else. I mean. What could we have more? Water, all these water streams, like river, current stuff. I mean, we came up with some 20-30 words for water, and he said, you see, the English people really are living in a world where they are exposed to a lot of water in the air, and they encounter water in many forms, and that's why they have so many different words, and they have different connotations, and of course there were words from, like, poetic words and words, derogatory words, and for water, and so many different words for water, and so that's one of the as one of the examples where the language and culture and the setting, the cultural setting for a society is somehow connected, and it's stuck. I mean, I was impressed. I was impressed how many different words of, and I guess he compared it to these Eskimo names for snow. If the society and the culture really is concerned with a certain thing, they will have it. We had in linguistics. We had then examples of some cultures which were herders of cows or some bovine creatures, and they had so many different technical terms for cow, young cow, female, male, gelded, not gelded, and I mean, for us it was just cow, ox, or whatever. What's called the little one? But we have like 4 or 5 terms, whereas they had 30, 40, because it was really, there was the industry, the purpose of their culture was cow herders, and all they did was herding cows, and if they did some tests with them, like they had you sometimes you want to make people remember objects and certain configuration of objects. So what sort of pictures they would use? I mean, you could, for a special experiments, you could use pictures of trees, I don't know, whatever, everyday objects, cutlery, kitchen, whatever you come in contact with. But they used the silhouettes of cows, and there was like 30 silhouettes, and the linguist showed it to me. I mean, how can you even tell a difference between this cow and this cow? Well, no, this cow is called this cow is called and there is a difference because for these people it's the difference was clear as day and night. For me, it was just two silhouettes of a cow. I couldn't tell what's the difference. I wouldn't remember where each of them was, or which of one I saw before. But for the people, it was so easy to remember these cows because it was their everyday handling or objects they were in contact with. So it was very easy for them to do some memory tests, just with the help of pictures of silhouettes. It was not even a picture; it was just a silhouette of a special sort of a cow, which had a special word for it in the language. Amazing how language and culture and are connected. It's great. But I'm sliding off the topic here. I'm completely derailing the stream. March of Progress. Yes, we have that. September 17th. The first push. The Niso triangle. So this is an article where the first ship mysteriously disappeared, and later turns out that it didn't actually disappear, it just entered a jump point. I like this article. Oh, Ferko, I have read some of the lore, and you may remember this Artemis ship, which set out to settle a planet on a distant star. It was like 200 years of travel planned for the Artemis, and I think it was the article First Push where they talk about sending off the Artemis ship with like 5,000 people and go colonize that other world there. So this Artemis ship was supposed to fly for 200 years or for over 200 years and land there. And in the meantime, they discovered jump points and got to the distant stars even faster than the Artemis ship. But I couldn't find any other mention about this Artemis ship any time later. I mean, does it play any role further in the further history? I mean, this was a historic event, right? I want to know what happened to those 5,000 people who went out and for a 200 years long journey. But there was no other mention of it. It was just, okay, discovering jump point here, jump point there, and we are expanding, colonizing, terraforming, whatever, and no further word of Artemis. I didn't expect that. I thought the Artemis would come up sometime later. Yep, sorry, I think linguistics is so interesting. Well, you don't have to feel sorry. I mean, I myself I'm quite passionate about linguistics, and it's what I studied and what I thoroughly enjoyed until I had to write linguistic articles, which I hated and couldn't really do. But linguistics is pretty nice to know, but I wouldn't recommend for anybody to make it his living. Doing linguistics for a living is pretty darn hard. It didn't work for me. But it's as a hobby. I mean, it's very interesting, linguistics. I mean, the same cultural dependence we found in the early history of Sumer and Akkad and Egypt and this ancient Near East, the Hittites, Urartians. They had their very specific culture, lots of culture-specific vocabulary. So it's just in the recent 100 years or so where there is something like global languages, where language gets so widespread that it really has to span across quite extremely different cultures. I've been talking to a colleague from India today, and he said, "Wow, there's so many languages in India that and even the Hindi, like the most common language the language common to most of India's population." When two Hindi speakers meet, and one is coming from South India, the other from North India, and they speak their variety of Hindi, they can hardly understand each other, and they fall back to English, or this Indian variety of English, but it's still English, to communicate with each other. So English has made its way into the Asian or Indian, like in India, culture, and it's a language which did not evolve with that sort of culture, but still nowadays is living together with the culture, and I guess it's being enriched by culture-specific lexemes, words, step by step. Why do those people with advanced cow knowledge, who were... Oh, I can't really remember, Ferko. I didn't remember the folk's name. Don't really remember. I guess you could have something similar found in the Enets and Nenets people, which are reindeer herders in the eastern Siberia. Or if you look at the that sort of steppe, not nomadic steppe cultures, pretty much everybody, or the Hittites, the archaic culture of Hittites in the ancient Near East. The Hittites were fabulous horse breeders and horse tamers. It was they were the master of horseback riding and really training horses. There are clay tablets written in Hittite where they are like the knowledge compendiums of horse training, and how do you train the horse, what to feed the horse when it's this old, when it's that old, how do you train the horse to listen to you or to obey you, they had so many techniques. I mean, if you meet with some horse trainers of today who are really knowledgeable about the stuff they do, you can ask them how much of today's horse training knowledge we actually adopted from the ancient Hittites, which did horse training in, I don't know, it's like the 18th, 17th century BC. The Hittites were masters of horses. It's amazing knowledge they had. It's got all forgotten, together with the Hittite language. And rediscovered much later on. Nasal triangle should be fine. September 19th. Together we rise. September 20th. Contact. This is still September, right? 22nd, yes. September 22nd. Breathe free. A better earth. That's where they found Terra, I think. Yeah, Terra. I wonder how do they do it for the Spanish language, Spanish version of Star Citizen, because Earth, the usual Earth is called Terra, or Terra. With a geminated R, and how do they differentiate between Earth and Terra then? September 23rd. But I think I've read in the forums somewhere that they have an alternate name, some other sort of a name for the Terra or for the Earth, for the Terra. Like a similar but different from Terra. Third. Three pillars. Almost every day they gave us an article about the fiction or the history. Long gone are those times, long gone. How many articles are we getting now? Like 3 per week. It's still good. It's still much more than you get in updates for any other game. But still, I don't see much. They swap it for Spanish. Like they have two names, Terra, right? Oh, it's for Spanish, like the usual Earth is Terra and the Terra is Earth. I guess you can't tell that in. Oh, you could. Spanish has. I think Spanish. It's impossible for Spanish to have words with word final th sound, like the th. They have th as an allophone of what, actually? Lada? No, they don't. They have the as an allophone of de. And do the Spanish guys have the? I think yes, as an like Lucy is Lucia, isn't it? Lucia. Th. They have the. Spanish has the. Lucia, yeah, they must have it, but they don't have it word finally, so they would have to have some different. It's an allophone of C. September 24th, the 3 pillars. Do I have the link? I do. I have the text. We're good. The galaxy gets bigger. September 25th. Every day an article. Every day. I guess today we'll leave it at doing these links, and tomorrow I'll look into the real content of these articles, because it's getting late here, and I have to get some sleep before I get to work tomorrow. Happy birthday, awfully crowded in my sky. September 26th. It also took me some time to realize that the ordinal number for 6 is not sixth, but sixth. At least for British English it is. I always thought it's exceptionless. You just attach to whatever you have and you get the ordinal. But for 6, it looks like there is a accumulation of lots of obstruent sounds or lots of plosive sounds at the end of the word, which is unacceptable by the English phonology. When it can accept lots of obstruents, like a text. You have text, or even plural, the texts. Texts. Yeah, I think that's the most you can get in English, but it has to be alveolar texts. It can't be th. So for sixth, it would be six. Actually, yeah, ks is fine, but followed by th is unacceptable. So the s gets dropped, and you have sixth. Text. So T or S is okay behind ks. Texts is fine, phonologically fine for English. You can have 4 consonants at the end of a syllable, as long as the 2 last ones are either T or S, because those are the alveolar ones. But you can't have anything else. If you happen to have one more consonant, which is th, you have to drop something. Sixth. I was surprised that it happens. I didn't know. Awfully crowded. September 26th. No, that was wrong. Leader rises. That's the rise of the first emperor Messer, High General Messer. He rises to High General first, but then will be named the emperor. That's where the Messer era starts. Is it era or era? I know. Word. Era. I guess era.
Era.
Era. Era.
Era.
Era. Era.
Era.
Era.
Era.
Both, actually. What do the British say? You don't have any pronunciations from Britain, United Kingdom. Okay. Era or era, whatever you like. Another word with alternate pronunciations. Awfully crowded. September 26th. Leader rises. Yes, September 27th. So we've gone through from starting today, or just like 60 years from now, where the stars are supposed to get a little closer. We've gone through to 2546. We've got still some 400 years to go until we arrive at the present state of history in Star Citizen. It's not a long way anymore. Okay, we're halfway through. Leader Leader Rises. '27th, 27th. Okay. Then we have Tears of Fire. Oh, not until I have read this article, I understood the strong emotions behind this artwork. It felt good. Felt good after I have. And actually, you have to read the articles before it to see. Like, this is like the climax of a longer history, or longer conflict between the humans and the Tevarin race, or the Tevarin people. And this is where one of the Tevarin wars end, or how they end. And it was so touching to read it. I mean, that was incredible. I like this. Starkey says, "Oh, that's what the article is called. I thought you were making a joke about the compression of the star systems. Especially, I can't follow. Compression of star systems? Did I speak about compression? I don't know." Yeah, so Rise of Fire, yeah, September 28th. I remember this is about the time when I became familiar, or I've been introduced to Star Citizen. So, September, early October 2012. So I remember these articles as if they, when they were hot and new in the Comlink, and I didn't really care about them, but I do care about them now. I mean, there was lots of I've got lots of value which I just didn't, which I just did ignore. Looks like I need to read those as well. Yeah. Feel free to do so. I mean, I had great fun reading this. I mean, it was so catchy. Do you say catchy if you mean like your attention is caught for a long time? I guess you say catchy. Like I just wanted to read 2 or 3 before I fall asleep, but I got so excited I couldn't sleep for another 2.5 hours, and had to read like a dozen of them, or maybe 2 dozens, to get some rest, because it was so tense historical moments are described in them. So are we done here with Tears of Fire, September 28th? Yeah, I mean, done. We're hardly done, but we have put it in the list of articles. September 29th. Call for sovereignty. Stark is, oh sorry, you said the stream started 60 years from now when the stumps came closer. Yes. Stream, I said when the stream started. Yeah, I meant probably the history. Like this is like a guide. They guide you through future history, if you want, like through the future of Earth. They are sort of fantasizing or sci-fi, this is science fiction of what will happen in 60 years from now, that the star will come closer. Like we will be able to reach up to the stars. We will have better rocket engines, which will allow us to travel really far, like far enough to consider visiting another star, and so on and so on. So it builds up. There's a technological prelude to space exploration, some terraforming experiments with Mars and mishaps with Mars, the dark day on Mars, and sending a ship which will travel for 200 years to colonize a distant planet outside of our solar system. And or was it even destined for outside of our solar system? I can't really tell. Maybe it was just destined for whatever, like a planet like Pluto, or what's the farthest rock-like planet? It can't be Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. No, it must have been outside of our solar system. Whatever. I mean, it's like the scientific vision, the sci-fi vision of our future. But quite realistic. I mean, how many years does it take for us to develop this engine capable of star travel, and how long will it take for events to happen before we have colonized enough systems that the Earth really becomes just a minor place for the humanity, which has expanded across many star systems. And that it's a great introduction into the world of Star Citizen and the history and the current events, like we hear or read about in the Comlink now about this Vandul attack. It's like an introduction to all of that. Call for sovereignty. Am I done with that? No, I'm not, am I? September 29th. That's it. And not in Nottingham. Scorched Earth. Did we have that? Call for sovereignty. Scorched Earth comes first. Comes on September 30th. I guess the Scorched Earth is about... Is it about a Vandul attack? Yes, I think it is about Vandul. That's our first encounter with the Vandul. Up to now, up to this point in history, the humanity has met the Banu as an alien species, and the Tevarin as an alien species, and it's heard about the Krthak living on the other side of the Banu territory, and of course they've. I don't even know whether they've heard about Vandul until this point, but somehow the Vanduls attack. But they don't attack the Earth. I don't know why it's called Scorched Earth. They attack the Orion system, or Orion system. So why is it not called the Scorched Orion? Who knows? I'll have to deal with it later. Scorched Earth. Scorched Earth it is. September 30th. Right. Not in Nottingham. October 1st. So September is done. October 1st. October 1st. Not in Nottingham. And URL. Oh, not here. Here. Bandul attack. First footage. First footage of what? Oh, that's not really. It's just a transmission. That's not a Spectrum dispatch. The Cold War thaws. Yeah, that's where the Cold War with the Bandul starts to heat up. Ooh. I'm getting tired. I'm not sure if I can make it to October 17th. October 2nd. Cold War thaws. That was wrong. You need to have the text here in URL there. October 2nd. Yeah, we have that. The tide rises. October 3rd. I think this is where the people, yeah, where the people start rioting and start to like overthrow. Can you say overthrow the High General and the Emperor? Like they dethrone him basically. The Emperor. So from the Messer thing, a hero rises. Until this point, that was the Messer era, where these Messer emperors and the descendants of this Messer emperor were the rulers of humanity. Until this point, where he messed up badly, and the humanity just said no, that was enough. We want another emperor. So it was a long, quite the span of many hundred years and many generations. I think Messer the 19th, Emperor Messer the 19th was the last of the dynasty. Where will we be at? October 3rd. October 3rd. Do we have the link? No. It's like a whole historic era, and then comes a great change after that. So in the Messer era, you could argue that the United Empire of Earth is all but, is everything but good. It starts good, but as the dynasty progresses and the time progresses, it's quite horrible what they've become with the UAE. And here comes a breaking point where they dethrone the emperor and put a new one, and they have a new friendlier policy against alien species and colonizing planets and terraforming planets. They appear to be friendlier. So after the Messer era, you can argue, well, the UAE is more of a good, is more of the good guys. It's more like the good guys again. But who knows? Maybe I haven't read that. I haven't read much further than just after the Messer era. So maybe things will turn bad again, or not as good as you would expect for the good guys to be. A kinder, gentler human. Yeah, that's the new age of the new emperor, which is not like what would you say, hereditary, or not inherited, or not the descendant of the emperor, but he is elected by people. He's like the emperor, the elected dictator, and from there things are sort of okay, but people are actually in control of who is their leader. A sort of control. I don't know whether he's elected, but somehow it's not like he's elected for a period of 10 years, I think they said. Kinder, gentler human of October 4th. Oh, come on. October 4th. So from here you could say the UEE is the good guys again. Depends on whether it's a good decision to be that friendly. I mean, a nation or a nation should be prepared to defend its territory and fight some wars. Let's get social, neutral zone. October 5th. Synth world. That's where the humanity thinks about making artificial planets. They realized, okay, colonizing planets and terraforming planets is one way to do to expand and to have some new space to live on, but kind of like in the Hitchhiker's Guide Through the Galaxy, where these people create planets, on demand for the super rich people. Here in Star Citizen, I think it's a nod to the Hitchhiker's Guide of Galaxy. People are starting to create these synth worlds, these artificially made planets, where whenever they need to expand and they need place to live, so instead of fighting another species and eradicating them from another planet and terraforming the planet to their for their purposes, they just build another planet for themselves. So instead of warring over living space, they just, it's a question of money, right? What's cheaper? If the war way is cheaper, then probably they take the war way. If building a planet is cheaper, they just build a planet. So we are October 6th. October 6th. Hello, TH. Nice to see you. It was been such a long time since we've met online. Nice. I couldn't resist the temptation to read some of the Star Citizen lore once again. Well, I'm not really doing any proper wiki work. I'm just collecting wiki-worthy articles in a list here. Somebody started, and I saw this list is incomplete. It's missing quite a number of articles, so I'm just putting it in. Quite a boring work, but needs to be done as a preparation for our future detailed work, where we write articles about the historical figures and events mentioned in these articles. And how have you been all the time? I remember you were. You were all the years you were somehow part of my channel, right? I remember you were one of the first subscribers ever. I mean, you must have been one of the first 100 subscribers or something like that. It's amazing. And my channel has changed so much. I hardly do any gaming, like role-playing gaming. I don't know whether I will return to it ever. Whether I will ever return to it. Like, Skyrim is still fun, but I feel no longer really interested in this Skyrim to play for a third time all over again. I'm running out of inspiration there. Getting in situations which I've been twice in before. And even though I somehow try to role play this thief assassin Dunmer character, which is a sort of what's supposed to be, it was planned as a dark one. I still tend to play it my usual happy, helpful, merry guy way. I guess I'm horrible role player as a bad guy. So which means I'm generally horrible role player. I can only play roles which are pretty much the way, which are pretty much reflecting my own personality. I mean, I can hardly act as a bad guy. So it's something I have troubles with, playing this Banor guy, Banor Benelas. Money Pit, December 7th, Money Pit done. Okay. Campaign promises. Oh yeah, I remember this. Campaign promises. TH says, I remember when you played Oblivion. That's how I found. Yeah, Oblivion was my first content there on the channel. So you've been from the very first moments. There, sticking around since. Yeah. Nice. How about you, TH? Do you still play these Elder Scrolls games, or what sort of role play games? I suppose you played these sort of games when you started watching the channel, but it doesn't have to be the case. For example, I started to occasionally watch the StarCraft 2 esports series. I see two StarCraft 2 professional gamers battling against each other in StarCraft 2. Though I never played StarCraft or StarCraft 2, I'm quite enjoying watching these battles. So maybe it's similar for you, where you don't really play role-playing games or don't really play Elder Scrolls, you still sort of enjoy watching it. Campaign promises, October 8th. Yes, all right. Next up, we have A Dream of Dreams. It's almost time. That's not Spectrum Dispatch. Okay, Dream of Dreams. October 9th. And 2942 was announced as today, so that's where you meet. So Star Citizen time at this point was, at least you could say, it was how much? 930 years, because this was October 10th, 2012. So our 2012 was 2942 in Star Citizen time. That means 2015 should be 2945 in Star Citizen date, like corresponding to our today. We should be 2945. Yeah. October 10th. So Star Citizen is off by 930 years. I said 930 years in the future. And that's I think that's where I have left with the Clean Shot shipping update, October 17th, and that's exactly where I stopped reading yesterday. I think it was yesterday when I read these. Yeah, I think it was yesterday night. I have read from the beginning up to here, and this was, I mean, this is really hazy in my memory. I couldn't really concentrate anymore on this one. Anyway, but I intend to wikify all these articles. Added early Spectrum Dispatch articles. Publish. No changes saved yet? Why not? Publish again to save your edits. I have an edit summary, so... Oh, could it be that somebody has edited this? Oh, I should have read the notification. Should have read the notification. Probably somebody was editing the page while I was editing it. Oh. Oh, ascending chronology. Oh, I think, how come we are missing? How can you compare? Oh, here, these. July 11th. Is it possible that somebody rolled it back? Somebody rolled back my change of the chronology? No, it didn't happen. Priest, July 2013. Ascending chronology. But looks like I've missed an article here. Because it's 129 characters less than it was. Can't imagine which one of them I have missed. 55911. Well, I guess sooner or later we'll find out, because sooner or later this list will be complete and it will be filled until 2015 and the current thing, so it's not much of an issue. And then we have these. Okay, we should be fine here. We should be fine. Okay, so what does TH say? I played a lot of Oblivion at the time I started watching Geeks and You. Then came Skyrim, and I played enough of that. I got tired playing, but enjoyed watching you and Geeks fumbling through the game. Right now I'm excited about Star Citizen. Seems like a game I could really enjoy for a longer period of time. I have been playing around in Elite Dangerous too. Well, yes, happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. We can meet in a game maybe if it really gets released. There is some doubt about it right now, but I'm still positive. I'm still hoping. I mean, I still believe that we are on a way to have a game in 3 or 4 years. If the money stream will not cease. So yeah, it looks definitely nice. And Elite Dangerous, I have bought that myself and tried to play a little bit here with Ferko, but we somehow stopped playing it because we both find it too grindy, right, Ferko? Like you have to put in so many hours to generate a decent amount of credits to buy yourself ship and equipment. I don't know much about the current state of the game and the current state of grinding. But it was like really weeks and months of nothing but grinding, and there was hardly any activity which in Elite which would be profitable enough to make it any faster. I mean, the fastest you could get was just trading. Yeah, I don't know. It's still a fun game. I mean, I enjoyed playing Eve. It was, even though I played like 10 hours a day, and I did, like 100, maybe 200 runs with trade goods. I never got bored of the lending procedure or the trading procedure. It was nice, but it was such a long grinding run that I thought, oh, okay, I can't do this like that. It's not gaming. It's really working. So yeah, but I will play Elite occasionally again. It's a good game. It always has been. The old Elite. I actually found a guy called Zorzo, a British guy, having a let's play of, I think, 81 videos of the old Elite of 1984, released in 1984 on the BBC Micro. It's quite enjoyable, quite a relaxing time, watching him playing the old Elite game. Like that. I couldn't do it any better myself. Anyway, so we are through with listing these articles. I hope that tomorrow we'll get on wikifying, because I did some work previously. Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. Obviously, something very bad happened with September 13th. What's wrong with September 13th? September 13th is this. Okay. Yes, I did some work before, like a year ago or 2 years ago. I don't know how long have I been absent from the Wikipedia here, but I think Until the Dark Day was something I worked on. The tragedy of terraforming Mars, but we should gradually go through this. Ferko says, yeah, I only played a few hours of Elite, but I'll try the planetary landing and driving parts. Yes, it's looking quite exciting. All right, guys, it's been a great evening. I've really enjoyed chatting with you and derailing the Star Citizen stream into like a philosophical thoughts about languages, cultures, and all stuff. It's linguistic. My good old linguistic times. Oh, I was happy remembering those, and it made this boring listing the articles less boring when we talked about stuff. Anyway, I hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.